Alright, so welcome to another video. We're running, it's definitely to the point where it's easily measured in days. We've got 2 weeks, and we can measure it in days real easily by taking because we're in the same month. The test is going to be on the 18th of this month and is now the 3rd of the month, so we can do 18 minus 3 and measure it very easily in days. We've got 15 days until the exam, really coming down the pipe fast. So I did want to have memorization be a little bit a part of what I'm doing here. So basically my plan was to have, for the final stretch here, to build some Anki cards so I could memorize some code snippets to help me kind of jog my memory and stuff on test day. And then in addition to that, I wanted to take this full day lab challenge that I have all the answers to given in this free demo workbook I found on Google for the 960 version of the exam. Okay, so let's get started. Use this full video here, the lunchtime video, to just keep working on the config snippets. Okay, so yeah, and I've called them code snippets. They're config snippets. I got them confused. But let's keep adding cards. So the last one we added. Oh, so it almost looks like. Oh no, we do have a card. So let's browse our cards. Why don't we have any cards? 0 cards shown. 0 selected. Why aren't there any cards? I don't get why there are cards. Or sorry, why there are not any cards. Is it because I didn't select any cards? Oh, it is because I didn't select any. You have to select the cards to see them. Okay, so here's one. Yeah, so in the front it's going to say infrastructure. Now I thought I built something to help me with this. I thought I was just working on something. Okay, maybe not. No, I don't think I was. So yeah, unfortunately, I think I wasted a lot of time. Okay, so let's keep going. Infrastructure. Yeah, so this is going to be infrastructure, and then okay. All right, so that's all I need to know. Let's add another card. Front is going to be infrastructure login class. Okay, and then I'll add infrastructure to my notes. Okay, so hopefully I'll be able to finish all of these cards. I mean, if I'm just going to do that, I can just copy paste it and have things go a lot faster. I might as well just do that. Yeah, let's just do it that way. So we're going to copy and paste these notes. Okay, they're probably going to ask me to do all this. Okay, so while I'm making these of course I'll bring up the lab. Okay, so a login class is basically something that just assigns permissions. So let's do root, clouds, CLI, private, show pipe display set, pipe more. Okay, set system login class, and then yeah, I guess I'd rather do exactly what they have here for this. Class name. And then, so example, permissions, all, and then system. Okay. And then I'll use the, because that's the OR symbol in Wireshark. We'll do this. Your permissions. Okay, so yeah, that looks good to me. So what's the next one? It's going to be set system login class example, and then allow commands, set, okay. So of course, you know, it's going to be a little bit tricky here because, you know, I'm not just going to go and memorize every single command on the box. It's just to give me a little bit of a kind of a head start. One pitfall I could fall into is say, oh, well, they're asking me to do this, you know, and I have this memorized, I go and do it. It's like, well, I didn't read the question carefully enough. They weren't asking me to do exactly this. So I really got to have the wherewithal mentally to actually use the help apropos, use the question mark, and determine and implement exactly what they're asking, not just something I memorized that's divorced from the actual lab instructions. When it comes to taking tests and stuff, the most important thing you can do is carefully read the question and understand it, because sometimes you know the right answer, and sometimes you even misread the question. You end up doing something more difficult, and you demonstrate a higher level of knowledge, but you didn't read the the question correctly, so you gave the wrong answer. Then that's the worst case scenario. Because it's not like a a job interview where they sit down and kind of just ask you to talk about stuff or do a challenge. Like they're actually expecting you to properly respond to something very specific and not just demonstrate in some way that you understand the topics more generally. Okay, so let's see here. So we've got yeah, we'll do an example of allow commands, which is going to be, yeah, so it's going to be a regex. So yeah, so we'll do this. And then deny commands. Okay, it looks good to me. Okay, next one's going to be idle timer. Okay, and there's also, you can set up authentication using a key string, something like that. I've done that before. Yeah, and then you just paste in your key string. But here we'll just, I don't think they'll ask for anything like that. I mean, I have no idea. We'll see what the lab exam does, the full day challenge. But before we do that, we're going to be creating these cards. Okay. Okay, so here's one, let's try out. Oops, and I do need to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So let's continue. Oh, so here's one that I'm gonna need to, yep, look at on the actual device. Okay. Oh yeah, so you can't forget to actually enable the actual service. Um, yeah, but it's going to be for whichever one. I'm just going to set it up. Yeah, for SSH. Um, yeah. Yep, and then if they ask for like DNS mapping, anything like that, I'll be able to do that. Host name, inet. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that looks good to me. Yeah. Okay, so that's good enough to have in the card. So let's save that and then move on. Okay, and there should be like a failover on. Nah. Huh. Okay. Well, never mind. So what's the next one? It's gonna be. Uh, Wait. Oh, it has a minimum of 15. Okay. Okay, so yeah, when I go, we'll actually go um, and try to actually do these. So okay, so yeah, that looks good to me. All right, on to the next one. Oh man, I was accidentally sent a box of Cookie Crisp with my healthful, carefully picked and carefully planned grocery delivery. And I ate the whole box, of course. It's only like 1,700 calories, so like I think I'll be fine if I don't eat like a lot of extra calories, but like it's just a bowl full of sugar. So like my blood sugar is like super high right now, I bet, and it's just gonna crash later, and I'm gonna crash later. It's gonna mess it. I bet you my waistline's gonna be a lot higher tomorrow too. But it tastes Cookie Crisp. I mean, I want to say it tastes good, but really like it's not worth it. It doesn't taste good enough to be worth the damage it does to your body. Okay. It's like, how much do you like chocolate chip cookies? It's like, I'll like a chocolate chip cookie, or like even 2 chocolate chip cookies, even 3 or 4 chocolate chip cookies is pretty good, and I like that. But a cereal bowl filled with chocolate chip cookies that you eat with a spoon, it's like, it's after a while there's too many chocolate chip cookies. I don't want a entire bowl full of chocolate chip cookies. Like, just give me like a few of them. Not to mention an entire family size box. Okay, so yep, so here's the host. Next step, facility. Okay, I don't know what facility override means. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to leave it there. I tried entering these other facility severity, and I didn't see that there, so we'll just move on to the next one. Okay, so moving on to SMMP. See, and this is where it can be a problem to simply just memorize things instead of learning how to use the question mark and help apropos, because this command here is listed as SEC model, but in my version it's security model. So getting used to using the question mark, reading the example, or sorry, the description of the command is much more important than having any particular thing memorized. But I think memorization is something that's important, important aspect of any test taking, any study. Memorization is really useful, even though it's not enough. It's really not enough to just memorize something, but it is definitely helpful, because there's a difference between comprehension and recognition, and recognition can only get you so far. You really need to have comprehension in order to properly troubleshoot something, or properly be able to implement something, because once you get to the job, oops, it's it's all a Cisco shop, and you learned everything on Juniper. Oops, it's all So if you have good comprehension, it's not going to be a big deal. You can learn something brand new really quick. But if it's all just recognition, well, what was I actually doing? So, okay, so let's continue going. We're almost out of time. This is actually going a lot slower than I thought it would, but let's try to get as much done as possible. Security name value, and then group. Okay, so this is where I've got to end it for now. It being Tuesday, I've got a meeting at 1, I believe. So I'll need to come back to this. Hopefully I can remember to do that in the after work video. But thanks for watching and see you in the next one.